skibbity.
It's time to beat Umineko episode 1. So we are,
The economics of IKEA.
part 16 of this series. I've titled this The Witch Wins, because we're on the 9th Twilight, and supposedly the witch has already won. So we're gonna figure out what happens. Last night was a doozy.
Yeah, because I don't think the witch is magical. I just think the servants
I could have finished it.
just let themselves get killed, man. Oh, Nazi's dead.
We could have finished it last night, but Bro, I went to bed at like 3 a.m. I could not fall asleep.
Yeah, you could have. I was up till 3 a.m. too.
And then I went to work and I was so sleepy.
I'm so sleepy when I was going to school.
Alright.
Have you ever been so sleepy that you almost get into a car accident?
Nah, because I lock in.
Well, there was this one time I closed my eyes a bit and I woke up because I realized I was driving, and you know,
That's
luckily,
dangerous.
I know, right? Luckily, I was still inside my lane, barely.
I remember one of the few times when I was like when I first got my like permit, I was driving my family to dinner and I like dissociated for a bit and I like went over the yellow line.
The yellow line?
Yeah, so like into the incoming lane.
Well, I mean, it's not that bad if you just like slightly touch it.
Well, it wasn't like slightly, I was like at least one tire past. My parents like shook me.
It's okay, it happened to me before too. And then I got honked at because I was...
Alright.
I still gonna get honked at, but it's because like there's so many hills where I live, you know?
Actually, I get honked at when people are like want me to take a risky turn, but obviously I don't want to get hit.
Yeah. I mean, that happened to me too, and I'm like, and in my head I'm swearing at them. There was been a couple of times where I wanted to honk people, but I just don't have the hand coordination for that.
I've like barely ever honked at people.
It was like this one time where this lady for some reason was trying to change lanes, but like I was in the next lane. So,
yeah, that's when you gotta like really honk it so that they don't merge into you.
I just like stared at her in disbelief because I was just so shocked that she tried to fucking move when I was going past there. Because it was like, okay, so she was like stuck in like, you know how like when you pass by schools in the morning, sometimes like there's a long line of like kids like trying to get dropped off and stuff.
Yeah, the school bus.
Yeah, and like so she tried to like fucking like change the lane next to her, right? Like I guess she was trying to cut the line or something by like getting out and then going back in, or just like escaping the line. And she almost hit me. I was like so much in disbelief, and then I was upset. And then there was this other time, but I forgot because I remember more of the times that I was the embarrassing person who accidentally did something. One time I pressed, instead of pressing the brakes, I pressed the accelerator, but my car's kind of old, so it didn't go that far, but that could have been bad.
Uh-oh.
Cause like for some reason this car they like took a long time changing into my lane in front of me, so I had to brake again, but I actually pressed the accelerator. But low-key, they should have changed lanes faster. I don't like it. I don't like it when people take a long time changing lanes, cause like...
Yeah, if it's at night, you can flash your light at them, let them know. But if it's in the day, you can like try to use your hands to tell them to hurry up.
Well, no, because like they're not looking behind.
Well, they should look behind to make sure that they're not like cutting somebody off.
They don't care. Okay, but like in my
you can sue them.
my store in my state is just like everyone doesn't care about anyone but themselves.
Fuck my Chungus life. Okay. This song sounds like SMT4, the Tokyo theme. Sounds really good. So, Natsuhi's figure was she dead?
Yeah.
Alone in the entrance hall. It was the place decorated by the portrait of Beatrice.
I feel like she's gonna die soon.
Natsuhi threw down Beatrice's last letter, the one she had read in the parlor, readied her rifle again, and in a voice that rang clear, yelled in a massive space that was the entrance hall.
I am Ushiromiya Natsuhi, representative of the Ushiromiya family. Show yourself! Golden Witch Beatrice!
The entrance hall was dimly lit. Other than a faint light which shone in the center of the room, everything was blotted out by jet black darkness. In that darkness, butterflies glittering in gold squirmed, twinkled, and sneered. Natsuhi gave one more huge gulp and pointed the cold barrel of the gun to the gold butterflies.
So you finally shown yourself. Yeah, I think the butterflies are unreliable. I still can't believe that someone like you really exists. That isn't a problem. Both I bear the title representative of the Ushiromiya family. And you who claim to succeed the headship of the Ushiromiya family are here right now. At this point, whether you are a witch or not is a trivial matter. Come, let us settle this. Which of us will truly succeed the Ushiromiya family? Natsuhi's so dead. I, Ushiromiya Natsuhi.
Nah, she wins these.
Or you, Beatrice. Allow me to respectfully accept your request to a duel. I bet her gun wasn't even fucking loaded. Like, I don't think the butterflies are real. I think that's just someone posing at Beatrice. Oh.
The gold butterflies slowly formed into a human shape which walked into the dim light. Natsuhi readied the rifle and glared. The witch raised her golden staff overhead and laughed. Natsuhi's finger slowly squeezed the trigger.
And go!
Valor made an all-out dash at the door and rammed into it, crushing the candle stand that had been barring it and making it possible for a big gap to be opened in the door.
See, they can't break down the doors with their body weight. So it must mean the servants killed Ava.
He kept kicking the candle stand through the gap and the door was finally released.
Natsuhi's dead.
At that time, they heard it. They certainly heard the crisp sound of gunfire ring out once. Mom! Mom! Jessica-chan, you mustn't run off by yourself.
What was the sound of the gun right now? Just now? Did Aunt Natsuhi shoot?
That's whom? At the culprit.
Yeah, guys, it wasn't fucking Maria. She's like 9.
The noise had
Even
come
if
from
she
the
was
entrance
crazy.
hall. And the entrance hall looked like a stage. Like a heroine of a tragedy on the ground bathed in light. Arrayed in the beauty of that silence, Aunt Natsuhi lay face up, crumpled on the floor. Half crazed, Jessica ran up to Aunt Natsuhi. On Aunt Natsuhi's forehead, it was almost as though a sparkling shard of pigeon blood ruby had been placed there.
She's dead too.
And from it, one stream of blood makeup passed by her eye and began to traverse her face. The faint smell of gunpowder smoke came from the barrel of the gun Aunt Natsuhi still grasped. Huh? Then she shot herself in the forehead?
No, fucker, that's not how that
Why?
works.
Mom!
If you shoot yourself in the head... Okay, this is what I learned from Detective Conan. If you shoot yourself in the head, what's likely is that there might be a ring of gunpowder around your head. If there's no ring of gunpowder around your head, you probably didn't kill yourself. You probably were shot at. To analyze what there might be gunpowder around her gun, but that might have not been her gun that shot, even though even though it might seem like it, but
I was gonna say, I feel like it would... I don't know how big these bullets are, but I feel like it would leave more of a mark than just like the whole. Like I feel like it would destroy the face a bit. But I don't know how big the bullets are.
around the head. Let me just make sure. Or would there not be gunpowder?
Maybe it depends on the gun.
Let me search up Detective Conan. But it was like either or something weird about gunpowder. I think like when you shoot a gun, typically there will be some gunpowder. Like even modern day guns, might be some gunpowder residue somewhere. At least, especially during this time period, there's definitely gonna be some gunpowder residue. And if Aunt Natsuhi herself doesn't have any gunpowder residue on her figure, and it was just probably like her gun, then her gun might have not been loaded. And then like, if you analyze like where the gunpowder landed on her body, then you can probably assume whether or not she was shot or not. And I'd say like there's like a good chance she was shot at. I don't think she'd shoot herself. I feel like it makes sense for the servants to shoot themselves, but not Aunt Natsuki. I think
she's too awesome to kill herself.
like I think her gun was just not loaded in the first place, and then the culprit had a gun, which proceeded to kill Aunt Natsuki. I think Battler's stupid for immediately assuming that Aunt Natsuki shot herself. Because just because there's a lot of gunpowder around your gun doesn't mean the gun she shot had bullets in the first place. Check for bullets, actually. Why? Because it wouldn't make sense if her gun only had one bullet, right? If you had a loaded gun, then your gun must have multiple bullets loaded inside it. I don't think she'd hold a gun with one bullet in it. That's just not, like, secure. What if you missed your first shot? What if you, there's many factors. So, her gun was probably just never loaded in the first place. Or, that's why you probably should check if she had any bullets in the barrel, and if there's any missing bullets from the barrel. If, let's assume, okay, you get an ambiguous case if the gun is not fully loaded, and there's still, like, a couple slots missing. So, like, you know, in a revolver, there's, like, 6 bullets, right? So if you have, like, half of those bullets missing, then that's, like, an ambiguous case if she actually shot herself or not, because then, in the first place, you heard one bullet shot. There's a likely chance the gun was never loaded fully in the first place. But if there's no bullets, then why would you hold a gun with only one bullet? That doesn't make sense. Like, you must have checked, right? I don't think Aunt Natsuki checked if her gun was loaded or not, but you must have. Like, I don't know if my logic's making sense, but
no, it makes sense, but unfortunately we just don't know the information.
Yeah, because this battler first thing is like, oh, she killed herself, not, oh, she shot at the culprit, but the culprit also had a gun. Yeah, why didn't you just assume the culprit also had a gun? Like, I know there's gunpowder around the gun, but I'm assuming that her gun was just not loaded. Or somehow gunpowder smeared on her gun. Because that just makes the most sense. I don't get it. Why did Aunt Natsuki run away alone? And why did she shoot through her own forehead? No.
Maria-chan, Aunt Natsuhi left the room after reading a letter, right? There's no letter here. Damn it. Where did Aunt Natsuhi read? Or what did Aunt Natsuhi read, and why was she lured out here? I don't know. Who cares about that? What the hell? Why did she kill herself? Why? Why did she leave me all alone?
Why are you guys assuming she killed herself? That's such a fucking... It's so fucking stupid.
Jessica clung to her mother's corpse, crying earnestly. So, I feel like... So the letter was obviously taken because it would have said something that alluded to the fact that there's no way she would have killed herself here. Because it would ask for a duel, right? She said, I accept your duel. So she was probably... The killer might have asked her, like, come meet me and settle this or something. But in that case, like, if they saw that letter, there's no way they would assume she killed herself.
I don't even think the killer wants them to assume they killed her herself. I just think these guys just
I
don't
feel like
wanna...
they do, because otherwise they would have left the letter there.
I don't think... Because, like, Beatrice is trying to make everything look like it was done by her and she wants people to believe she exists. What I think is happening is just these guys are just so in denial. Low-key. Like, maybe she did take the letter, but maybe something about the letter alluded to the fact that Beatrice's manager was not.
My body was consumed with anger. I didn't know what to do with it. I snatched the rifle from Natsuhi's hand. I spun around, pointing the barrel of the gun into the darkness on all sides, as though I was pointing a light at a lighthouse, from a lighthouse, trying to find the culprit. George Aniki, even in this situation, was trying to calmly figure something out, but that might have been a fruitless effort. And only Maria was completely indifferent. So is this all supposed to be some kind of predetermined fate? No, that's not it. This is all a prelude to a wonderful world. The door to the Golden Land will finally open.
On the 12th night twilight, the witch shall revive, and none shall be left alive. On the 10th twilight, at journey's end, shall attain the power of the Golden Witches, the Golden Land's treasures, once and for the last time. This, everything is over, Beatrice. Congratulations. Congratulations. So lead me to the Golden Land you told me of. Right now, see, so the narrator is just unreliable because it switched perspectives and started yapping about the Golden Land. So, if we assume that the narrator might be just narrating from like a more book perspective of like an author trying to write out these scenarios in their own unique way, if we assume chapter 1 is just like a retelling of like an author's like desired like way of seeing Beatrice, then like case closed, the servants did it.
There. All of the dead will be revived, and even lost love will be restored. So, in Maria's eyes, it's just as though all of today's tragedies didn't happen. It's as though all the time she spent deprived of love never happened.
Stop it! What's so fun? What's to be congratulated? There were 18 people on this island. 14 are dead. Only 4 of us are here left. I'm definitely not gonna die. Until the night is over. No, until the typhoon passes, and the seagulls gather at the heart again. And the Uminekos gather again at the harbor. I'm definitely not gonna die. I'm gonna stay alive. I'll stay alive. I'll stay alive no matter what. If it up that way, the guns are useless against witches. Survival and all that stuff doesn't matter. Because it's over. The journey has already ended. See? Look at the clock.
The clock? Hearing those words, I looked at my wristwatch. Both needles were almost touching near the top. Very soon it will be 12 at night. In other words, 24 hours. When you think about it, isn't 24 hours a strange time? I guess you're saying 24... Isn't 24 o'clock is a strange... What? Whatever.
It's 12. It's a different... You know, like military time and stuff.
Well, yeah, but I meant, like, why is there an is? Isn't 24 is a strange time?
Isn't 24 o'clock, is it? Oh.
It can be called 24. It can also be called 0. In the hour of the culmination of the previous day, and at the same time, it's the hour 0 as the next day begins. Maria suddenly called out happily and ran towards the darkness. It was almost as though Beatrice was somewhere in that darkness, and Maria was running up to her. As Jessica hugged her mother's corpse, as George Aniki stood there confused, I looked down the barrel of the rifle, gazing into the darkness.
You're not gonna check if the gun was loaded?
The space in front of Beatrice's portrait lay in that direction, and the thing Maria was running up to was the portrait's subject. You've got to be kidding me. This is just impossible. Like I'd fall for something like that. Witches don't exist. I won't accept it. Something like you shouldn't exist. Because this is a human world, You think I could accept something that's not human? I definitely won't accept it. When I pulled hard on the rifle's lever, oh my god, on the rifle's lever, the cartridge was ejected, fell on the floor, and a new cartridge was loaded. Then I sighted down the witch on the barrel. Maria turned around. Still clinging to the golden witch, she turned around.
Did I tell you it was meaningless? Bear-led bullets are meaningless against Beatrice. They're so stupid, aren't they? Oh my god. I won't accept the existence of witches. Okay, let's say if the gun was loaded, we had the culprit switch out their gun. Who are you? Just try moving one step. Just try moving one finger. I'll blast you away.
Yeah, there's two voices.
You wanna laugh with me? As the witch. No, as the witch. What? Was she is she saying that?
I guess so. But
I don't think she's. I think this was an error.
Okay, as the witch. No, the witches laughed. Even the large clock in the hall joined in on their laughter. Wait, no, it's still there. It was probably telling us that time was 24. It was both a tone telling us that we had reached the culmination of this day, and a tone informing us that we had all returned to nothing. The rule that the witch would win when time ran out had already been revealed. Okay, that was strange. Unless that was intentional, but I don't know.
I don't think so.
Hard to tell when we're using a mod. It could be an error with the mod.
The journey has ended and the witch is revived.
And none shall be left alive. The witch shall praise the wise and bestow 4 treasures. One shall be all the gold from the Golden Land. One shall be the resurrection of all the dead souls. One shall be the resurrection of love that was lost. One shall be to put the witch to sleep for all of time. Sleep peacefully, my beloved witch, Beatrice.
Dun, 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 dun. Is there a
Yeah.
mod to change that sound?
Oh shit, yay, we survived the night.
We're waiting every night to find a... I want a FNAF mod for Umineko. Beatrice is the purple guy. I'm gonna piss on your corpse. Oh.
The storm passed, and the leaden clouds that I should read faster that had enshrouded the island for so long cleared away. From the rifts between the clouds, sunbeams shone, and yesterday's storm seemed like a lie. Just as someone had wished to see the Uminekos return to the harbor once again and let their lively cries be heard. Afterwards, the police came and conducted an investigation of the scene. The corpses of the children, who were thought to have survived until the very end, were never found. However, because of the body parts that were discovered and the unimaginable gruesome nature of the scene, the police were forced to conclude that the chances of survival for any of the 18, even the children, seem hopelessly dim.
Yeah, see, this is just narration.
Just how gruesome was the banquet of the witch, and how beautiful was the Golden Land. They were the only ones who got to hear the tale. No tales were told to these humans who arrived after the banquet was over. The best they could do was imagine what might have happened during those 2 nights. However, the witch was fickle. She made a point of leaving behind this tale, which didn't need to be heard, and it was allowed to spread. Then, many years later, a strange wine bottle that had been drifted on the shores to the pier of a neighboring island was pulled out by a fisherman. Inside was a thin, tightly rolled notebook fragment, written upon in cramped small letters. Written there was this tale. Though this notebook fragment, people will finally learn the truth of the mysterious riddle filled to 2 days that started on October 4th, 1986. The incident was later called by many names such as the Rokkenjima mass murders, 18 kills of the Rokkenjima, the witch legend, the serial murders. Lovers of the occult claimed it was all the result of an immoral ceremony that had sealed on this island. Those 2 mysterious days were savagely embellished by the search far and wide. However, not one of those interpretations approached the truth. Furthermore, while the notebook fragments described the series of incidents, it was not revealed the truth of what had happened there. Or perhaps even the writer didn't know it was the truth. According to the writer, her name was Ushiramiya Maria. Incidentally, as a result of an all-out police investigation, part of Maria's body, a piece of her jaw, was discovered. It was one of the rare instances where a corpse was identified thanks to dental records. At the gruesome scene, there had been many body parts that couldn't be identified as belonging to any specific person, so it's probably fair to say that this jaw was extremely fortunate find. Because the jaw had been separated from the body, police judged that the chances of survival had been hopelessly dim, and none of the other body parts were found, or at least identified. And so let's conclude that the tale of the final section of the notebook fragment of Ushiramiya Maria left behind. By the time you have read this, I will probably be dead. Although there may or may not be a corpse, you who have read this, please find out the truth. That is my only wish. Ushiramiya Maria. The very day, the truth of the witch legend serial murders has not been brought to light.
How peaceful.
First game, Legend of the Golden Witch result. We win. Cross died on the first twilight, sacrificed. These 6 were sacrificed. Stake of Asmodeus, stake of Beelzebub, stake of Mammon, stake of Satan, Lucifer, Belphegor, Leviathan.
This is like Shingata. You know,
Alec
demons?
I know that from Persona. The witch praised her nobility and granted her the honor of a duel. That's my goat. After he acknowledged the existence of the witch and prostrated himself, the witch invited him. Battler died on the 10th twilight. Will the witch invite this man who denied her existence? Oh shit. The witch will praise the wise who should bestow 4 treasures of the golden land. They were not a chance to revive the dead and love who has been lost. After the amount of gold has been desired, it would not be out of the grass. George chose his lost fiance. Jessica chose the boy he liked. What the fuck? Maria chose the lost love of her mother. Sleep peacefully, Beatrice. Let nothing disturb your slumber ever again. The winner of the golden witch, Beatrice. The winner is Beatrice. Time ran out. All 18 died. And the Uminekos cried.
Oh, episode 1's complete.
So, to summarize that, it looks like Maria wrote a letter in a bottle that was discovered later and was a summary of what happened on the island.
Well, not even a summary. It was a small note being like, it was just like, please discover the truth. I'm not gonna
Was that
write
literally
anything.
all it said? I thought...
Yeah.
Okay. So it was just a note saying, please figure out the truth. From Ushiramiya Maria.
Features.
Everybody else died. It looked like George. I didn't get to read what that... Why did it move? I didn't even look at the gold bar. Did it say anything?
It just said, did you look? There's gonna be new features on the menu screen.
Oh, okay. It said George, Jessica, and Maria were missing, and then a battler had died, it said for sure.
Because he denied the existence of the witch.
Tea party. Yeah, I think that's everything to summarize. Why is the exit smaller? You've done well to make it this far. Have you enjoyed your stay at Rockin' Jima? The Golden Witch has granted you an invitation to her tea party. We hope that you choose to attend.
That's suspicious.
We'll have some tea.
Tea party. Oh
Episode
yeah,
1.
Small extras. Remember, there's a small extra after each episode.
Purgatorio. What does that say?
Purgatorio. Oh. Hey everyone, congrats on finishing Umineko no fuck you. Man, I still don't have a clue what was going on when the story ended.
Oh, never mind. So, what just happened? Was that basically the bad ending, where time runs out before the culprit gets exposed?
Definitely a bad ending.
That's right. Beatrice's letter, which Maria-chan read on the first day, did tell us in advance to solve the riddle in the epitaph. But we're all so busy trying to protect ourselves and look for the culprit, we didn't even take a shot at it. Oh my god, Shannon's back. That's right. If we had actually tried to solve the riddle, maybe things would have ended differently.
I wonder about that. Shannon-chan, you did a good job too. You're fucking behind everything. You don't have to serve our waitress. Don't have to be our waitress and serve tea. After all, this is a wrap-up party. As a group of people who met a horrible fate, let's all get along and lick each other's wounds. Okay. Lick.
Speaking of a horrible fate, Shannon beats the rest of us hands down, doesn't she? She was such a beautiful character, so I thought she'd definitely survive until the very end.
She did.
She was killed right in the beginning. And on top of that, what was it? Half her face was smashed, right?
No, I think definitely Shannon lived to the very end. They're lying to me right now.
It's very important that they found Maria's jaw with her teeth in it. So that explains why all the teeth are ripped out for all the other people, so they can't identify them. But like, that's just so strange because
only half
when you think about it, the only people who can use the teeth to identify the bodies would be the police, who are not on the island until after the events occur. So why even do that? I mean, the police are gonna know who the corpses are because I'm sure they know who flew over here. Like, there's probably records saying who attended here.
I think, to be honest, it's just spooky ways for people out. I don't know.
That's the worst. That was my role, so there's no other way around it.
Roll, see, roll. They're literally fucking dangling shit in front of us. I swear to God, I don't trust these hoes. Nah, son, it's nothing for you to worry about. My voice has changed, and I haven't hit puberty once more. By judging by my last epilogue, even Milady and the rest of them had an extremely tragic end.
It seems so. I think I remember seeing this horrible picture, kind of like my entire body had been eaten apart and dismembered.
Speaking of which, don't you think Cannon's last moments were the coolest? Even though he had the tables turned on him, it was just showdown with the culprit, right? Then what about Natsu?
Yeah, Natsu was cooler.
It's a whole bunch better than our confusing last moments, right? Though in the end, I was unable to get a solid hit in, because I probably faked it myself.
Still, I think Cannon-kun's death was a big hint. After all, because of that, the existence of a 19th person was made clear.
No, he
That's
did
right.
himself!
At that time, everyone's location was obvious. So it was impossible for anyone other than some unknown 19th person to kill Cannon, except for
Cannon
Kumasawa,
himself.
who we accused.
Or Cannon himself! It makes more sense that Cannon himself, one of the servants, is fucking tries to kill himself than the existence of a 19th person, unless one of the 19th person is one of the 18, which is probably fucking Shannon or one of the people who died in the sacrifice, and someone probably falsely identified one of them, and then once they falsely identified one of them, oh, they can just run around the island without people suspecting them because they probably were still alive! My bets are on Cannon.
And I think
I said it was speeches from the beginning, over and over.
I think the reason why they're even, instead of just outright killing everybody, because of the whole, like, magic needs a gamble, they're, like, drawing it out so long just to increase the odds.
Exactly, and then magic needs a gamble, that's why. The culprit's probably one of the people who died at the fucking beginning. Cause why would you Because isn't it risky to just have half your face blown off? And have people identify you? But the fact that George didn't see Shannon's face is fucking suspicious, guys. We know Cross is real because I'm pretty sure he looked at Cross's face.
I don't want to believe it, but that does prove the culprit was the witch herself, Beatrice. That's right. There were so many strange things that happened that a human couldn't do it.
Unless there's an unreliable narrator. Only a witch could do things like murdering Aunt Ava in that closed room. It was the servants. A human couldn't do it unless the servant's narration was unreliable. I hate you guys. They're trying to convince me that I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. I am bro. I'm low-key battler right now.
I love Mike.
Oh, I love those big jiggly sacks of meat. That could be two things actually. Not only is get it? It could be balls. Just let me explain that for you. I know you like those.
No.
Well, only exists risotto though.
I prefer cock.
Existence of a ninth person is clear, but it's also obvious that this person holds a power that humans can't even imagine.
In that case, I don't think there's anything wrong with calling this person Beatrice. We probably met at the very end. Met with the Golden Witch.
Like I kept saying, Beatrice exists! It all went bad because no one ever believed! Even one of her witch friends say that miracles would occur if you don't believe.
I feel like even if we're in purgatory, why are we so buddy-buddy right now?
Yeah.
I guess this is happening a bit after we've...
Well, what about my, like, if you think about it in, like, a writer's, like, fanfiction-y sense, this is not canon.
Mayhaps.
Ugh.
This is like a gag panel at the end of a chapter or something.
Yeah, they're all actors.
And that's right. Beatrice-sama is generous to those who respect her.
It seems that, to me, that Maria was never the target of Beatrice-sama's wrath. Up until the very end, despite the horrible crimes that occurred one after another.
Well, Maria believed in Beatrice since the beginning. But if that's the case, how do you guys explain why you and the rest were all killed? You guys believe in Beatrice just as much, right?
Beatrice-sama probably had her reasons.
If the song on the epitaph, why isn't she voicing it? If the song on the epitaph represented Beatrice-sama's resurrection ceremony, many sacrifices were needed. You must simply have been designated to be one of those. Shannon-chan, you met a horrible end. Very least, I wish your death could have been more peaceful and pretty. Well, it's not like it hurt. Anyway.
Cause she didn't fucking die! That's why it didn't fucking hurt!
Right now, I'm perfectly fine, so don't worry. Wait, how is she in purgatory then?
I don't think this is purgatory, this is just like...
Why would they call it purgatorio?
It's a fucking gag panel.
After seeing him stroke his cock, which had been crushed during that story, everyone laughed out loud, smiling. Well, it feels a bit weird saying this, but I was sure this story would fit into the standard mystery genre, but the author is such a genius, it was so unique. I'm a bit surprised to find out that it's a fantasy.
I don't think it's a fantasy.
After all, a Western mansion shut away from the outside world on an isolated island with an inheritance problem on everyone's mind sounds like a typical Western mystery novel to me. I added Western for some reason.
It's not a fantasy! Beatrice exists! Yes, we understand. Beatrice-sama does exist. We just got our fucking faces blown off.
That's right. Beatrice-sama does exist. I hate to admit it, but I've got no choice. Because it's obvious a 19th person, a witch, was involved. Mallory's been gone for a while. Many things happen that's impossible for humans. During the story, we tried to deny them in all sorts of ways. Now I can say it for sure. Each crime, every single one, would have been impossible for a human. It'd be impossible to carry out unless it was the witch Beatrice using all of her magical power could provide.
All the servants and accomplices, every time they say Beatrice exists, it's freaking like kind of quotated with those like little dashes.
Yeah, which I feel like implies they don't think she actually exists.
It implies that they probably work under her, and that basically the Beatrice that they're referring to might not actually have magical powers, and they were just staging it all. And you know, I've been trying to see if these people the people who are not servants are saying Beatrice exists. And like I know Maria says Beatrice-sama exists, but the thing is, she's like if she's one of the accomplices, then like it's safe to just be like, okay, yeah, it's just Maria because it's
Wait, no,
just
she does say that too.
yeah, I said she's one of the accomplices, so it makes sense if she says that.
Hmm.
Well, like everyone else who right now they're trying to say the witch exists, but you don't see that same dialogue box. I think the witch, it doesn't have
Witch.
magic. The witch doesn't have magic, guys.
The culprit was a witch. That point's perfectly clear. Long live Beatrice. I can't do Jessica's voice though. It's like there's just so much energy in it that I can't possibly ever do it.
Alright, guys! Everyone believe! I'm so glad!
Gods and witches might seem terrifying to people who are frightened by them, but I think they must be affectionate to those who believe in them and respect them.
I think that you're right.
So, this murder case game is finally over. Now it's time to pull ourselves together and try to solve the riddle, the epitaph, just like Beatrice said, right?
I agree. Beatrice will definitely be happy.
Everyone ignored the letter during the story. Even though it was thrust right onto us, we almost completely ignored it. I kind of feel sorry for Beatrice-sama.
I've got the epitaph written down right here. Let's solve it. Let's solve it.
The story probably went wrong ever since that time. And maybe so. Maybe we could have tried solving the epitaph riddle from the beginning, like Beatrice-sama. I feel like this conversation has circled back like multiple times already. We just say something new now. Well, it's a little late now. Even so, let's try solving it just to see if the witch forgives us. Let's go. Let's try to solve the riddle of the epitaph.
Everyone has to say the same line in their different little unique way.
And it was something like, "Behold the sweet fish river running through my beloved hometown." Maria put her notebook on the table and opened the page where the epitaph was written. Everyone stared at it, getting really into it as they started guessing at that about the riddle. Surrounded by the smell of black tea and freshly baked vanilla cookies, they spent the time comfortably and happily. You tell me Jessica picked Canon, but not like either of her parents?
Hold a second, you guys.
The battler spoke in a way to cut through the conversation. His expression looked unhappy. What could he not like about all this fun?
I've been listening to you guys for a while, but why did you guys all stop thinking? Why are you so sure a witch was behind all this? When you realize something like that can exist?
With just those words, the happy atmosphere surrounding the tea party evaporated at an instant. George and Jessica, Shannon and Cannon, Maria, all of them stared blankly, wondering what in the world Battler was talking about. Even the foolish, arrogant Battler realized that he hadn't chosen his words well. But because, isn't it clear that these crimes were impossible for a human? That's right, that's right. None of the cases could have been possible for a human. I've got to repeat what George... That's true, that's true. None of the cases could have been possible for a human. I'm gonna fucking kill this game!
I don't understand what you're saying, Battler-sama.
Don't do it. No, he didn't do it.
I'm the one who doesn't have a clue what you guys are talking about. Isn't it obvious a human committed these crimes? Bro, Detective Conan would have solved it, bro. Fucking Shuichi, bro. There's no way something like witches exist, right?
Then, what about when I was killed in the storehouse and something horrible was done to half my face? If the culprit was human, how could they have accomplished this?
A fucking gun? I don't know. Fucking shotgun. Boom. Or, even better, there was a 19th person that acted in replacement for Shannon. As we know, they alternate servants. So grandfather planned this out way before. then it's like there could have been servants just not present during the time of everything, at least to the guest. And Shannon was replaced with them. Because I'm still insisting that Shannon was alive during this, just because simply, I think her death is just suspicious. I think the fact that they keep referencing her death is suspicious, and the fact that everyone, all the adults aren't here, and it's really just and like Shannon is being highlighted despite her role being so minuscule. Like why Shannon is here, not Goda?
Nobody chose Coda.
I know, but like still, like I know, like I think it's suspicious how Jessica chose Cannon, and then like George chose Shannon. I guess Shannon's like whatever fiance, but did Battler choose Maria? What the? Why the fuck is Maria here? Like why didn't Battler and Maria like? I
What
don't
did
get
the
it.
epitaph say again? It said, there's 4 treasures. Maybe there's one for each. Okay, Maria got all the gold, case closed, and Battler's gonna put the witch to sleep.
Okay, but I
That doesn't
think
even make
it's just
sense.
suspicious how Shannon and Cannon are always like they have such a significant role despite like Shannon just never
Oh
fucking
shit!
popped up.
Forgot about this.
Mm.
Missing. Even though she was given a
Oh.
precious invitation to the Golden Land, a single fool refused to believe in the witch, and all of the magic disappeared. She
So
was
this
chewed
isn't
to
fucking.
bits by the demons and went to hell.
All right, so I think it's case closed that Shannon has to be behind something.
Even though
Wait,
everyone
what?
was getting along so well after being reunited in the Golden Land, all of the magic came to nothing because of a certain hard-headed fool. Am I spoiling myself?
No, I think this is meant to be found. Wait, what's Natsuhi's?
But we're in the Golden Land right now, aren't we?
No, this is just like a fucking illusion. This
In other
isn't
words, the
real.
demons chewed him to the bone and he went to hell.
The Golden Land doesn't even exist, man.
How beautiful. Found shot dead in front of the witch's portrait. How impudent of her to challenge the witch with nothing more than a mere gun. However, of course she'd end up like this. What was with her arm?
Mm.
Weird.
Is that the gun hand? Way she wields her
How
gun.
would she be bleeding there? What?
The Mitch might have knocked out something from her arm.
She's so
Who knows?
beautiful, even while dead.
Wait, look at Shannon Cannons again. Just real quick. Everyone will be revived in the Golden Land. Cannon is... Okay, it's the same.
Missing. Hehehe.
Did we read all of them? Battler. Oh.
The fool made the world where this fool made the world where everyone could be happy all come to nothing. Though Beatrice is extremely angry, she also seemed to enjoy herself immensely. It's almost as though she waited 1,000 years to get her hands on a toy as fun as this one. Hopefully even this fool will be able to see you before too long.
And no one else changed? Not even Dr. Nanjo or... I guess not. Yeah, why is there a splatter on Natsu's arm?
Whoops. I can't believe he died so quickly.
It's just irrelevant. That's, well, it's hard to imagine how they did something like that awful. That was in the Rose Garden storehouse, right? I'm sure there's plenty of weird tools in there. Like fucking shotgun.
Well,
Use someone
we never looked.
electric saw. They were so...
That's really fucking stupid, Battler. Then Battler, how could you explain how grandfather's disappearance from the study where it was in a closed room?
He was probably fucking long dead.
Even though the door was sealed, grandfather just suddenly disappeared, right?
We talked about during the story too. It's not possible that grandfather used some tricks to pull the receipt. It's also possible that he went out the window, fell down, and Anatsi locked the window from the inside. I could think of a bunch of tricks you can use without relying on magic.
That makes sense, but man, in that case, Battler-kun, how could you explain the way my parents were killed in the guest room? The door was sealed by the lock and a chain. Naturally, the window was sealed too. How do you think a human could have killed my parents?
Unreliable well, it's probably an unreliable narrator, okay? We did not have to leave that trick alone during the story. Anyway, there's a good chance the culprit had a key. And it's impossible. It was impossible to look through the crack of the door and the chain allowed. I know this is a stretch, but it's possible some device was used through the crack. Maybe they stuck something through it? Well, even the door chain is incredibly simple. There's a big factor in setting up a closed room.
I'm telling you, they had the coat hanger and they just unlocked it.
Could be. Or simply it's the servants. If it's a servant, then like Ava and his Hideyoshi would just like open the door for them, because that's not suspicious if your servant came up and tried to just ask you something, right? Or
Yeah,
like
but then you have to
told
put the chain back on before you leave, and I don't think you can do that.
I think you can.
Well, not from the outside.
Well,
Unless you use a coat hanger.
Oh yeah, you could. There's multiple ways you can put the chain back on.
What if they had a super strong magnet?
Oh, wait. Who was there? Who was there to see?
It was Kumasawa and it was Genji and Kanon found the door first.
Okay, but who was there to see Kanon cut the chain?
It was Kanon and Kumasawa.
Oh, the case closed. The servants have an unreliable perspective. If you think about it like this, we already know.
Maybe it wasn't even locked then, yeah.
Yeah, because if you already see it like this, if you see it from the perspective of the servants and like how unreliable the narrator is, simply it's just like the freaking servants did it. Because like we already know, like let's say the witch does not exist at all. Then all the scenes with Beatrice just popping up out of nowhere does not make sense. Only the servants are adamant that the witch exists, and they work under Kinzo. So it's likely they're just performing some sort of purgatory right now. These characters are acting out of place, and it's only Battlers who's acting kind of normal. Obviously, these aren't the actual characters we saw in the actual story, because they went to hell because demons ate them or something, because they didn't believe to the very end, except for Maria, but it's just with her. So if it was only Kumasawa-san and Kanon who cut open the door in quotation marks, the door was probably never locked from the inside, because only the servants are each other's alibi. And if we assume the servants are under Kinzo and under the witch in general, then yeah, the servants did it. Kanon and Genji probably killed them. Kumasawa-san is covering up for them. And
yeah, it seems quite likely.
This is like the most likely theory. And if I'm right,
I'll be a little disappointed if we got everything right on episode 1.
I feel like, wait, there's like something like telling me that I've solved it.
But how can this possibly be like 8 chapters?
Because I don't think, okay, people are like, it's not, Umineko's not the who done it, it's the why done it. So we're just figuring out why. I think we already figured out the who done it, but the why done it, we don't know yet. If you bought some closed closed room mystery novel from the bookstore, you'd probably find some trick that fit ease perfectly. Yeah, I've seen this in Detective Conan. Actually, I have. Detective Conan, there was an episode where someone used a wire trick, like a weird wire contraction, to lock the door from the outside.
I'm telling you, that's the coat hanger.
It's the coat hanger. But I think it's likely that because it was perspective of servants, they just fucking went in and killed them, and it was like, oh shit, guys! Whoa! Because the servants don't have an alibi. A reliable one. Find some trick it perfectly. Anyway, I can't see one now, but I claim that there's nothing humans can't do if they try hard enough.
Isn't that argument horribly irrational? It's just ridiculous to claim that it's possible for a human to do something, even though you can't explain how.
Imagine this was how real life court cases went. Why is that ridiculous? Why did you all stop thinking? Even something that looks impossible has to be doable. Doesn't it always work like that?
Battler, you're being a bit ridiculous. If you think a human could have done it, try explaining how. You can't, can you?
Why did you fucking choose canon out of your mother?
Yeah, I wanted to see Natsuhi, bro.
Bring back Natsuhi, bro. I feel like she didn't choose canon because she realized her feelings a bit too late and they didn't have like enough development with their bond. So this is the witch writing a nice little story to make us convinced that Canon and Shannon were like as significant as they were, because maybe they are working under the witch, or maybe they are the witch. You're okay with saying the culprit is a witch just because I can't explain it? With that argument, all the unsolved crimes in the world could be resolved by saying the witch is the culprit. Have we ever seen Canon and Shannon in the same room with like everyone else?
They talked to each other with Genji, but you know.
You know, that's not reliable. So have we ever seen Shannon and Canon together outside of that? Like, where Battler and like, cause have you realized that the first story, every situation with Shannon, Canon was never there, and they just explain it with, oh, he's a bit shy. But it's kind of suspicious that Shannon never popped up later on.
Her boobs are fake?
Mayhaps. Actually, yeah. Those boobs are not fucking realistic, bro. Like, isn't that kind of weird?
Do they even have the same eye color? Well, it could be contacts, I guess.
I think they do. They both have, like, bluish eyes.
I wish they weren't dead so I could see.
Well, no, you could see their sprites if you keep playing. I think they have the same colored eyes. Butler, you're sidestepping the issue. You aren't explaining anything. I know Cannon's eyes are blue. What's Shannon's eye color? Saying a human couldn't have done it. Bro, what if we fucking solved all the fucking mysteries on episode 1? I'm gonna actually kill myself that we read 8 chapters.
Wait, that would explain how Shannon died, but was still part of the story.
Yeah, like, why is Shannon fucking here in purgatory with us if she just had such an insignificant role? It would make sense. Okay, then that would explain why everyone was just expecting each other and there wasn't a 19th person if you just assumed that Shannon was canon and just was... Oh my god, it makes sense.
It does, and it's definitely plausible.
Yeah, and even if it isn't plausible, I don't think Beatrice exists just because like they're trying to push this on us so hard. I'm not convinced. Also, like, you know, I kind of spoiled myself, but I don't know. I just feel so convinced now that like, because we already know the characters. These aren't the characters because we saw the portraits. Why would they add those little texts if they just wanted us to believe the witch exists? Now I feel like Balor isn't that crazy. Like, I was kind of bullying him, but he's low-key kind of like, he's making sense. I feel like it's wrong. It wasn't. Oh my god. Okay, and then like Ava and Hideyoshi. What if Ava and Hideyoshi were like bribed? No, they didn't have to be bribed, but what if they were like... Cause like, they were the ones who saw Shannon's body. So they had to go along with whatever the servant said. Probably. And if they went along with whatever the servant said, and George didn't see the body, oh my fucking god. We're saying a human could have done it. Therefore, the culprit is something that isn't human.
Dude, I swear to God, if they bring up the battler touching her chest to realize she doesn't actually have real boobs, I'm gonna fucking lose it. I'm gonna fucking lose it. I'm gonna...
Oh my fucking god. Shannon's trans.
My god.
Therefore, the culprit is something that isn't human. That something is a witch. And yet you keep arbitrarily deciding that witches are impossible, even though you can't explain anything. We just did! It's almost like humanity was during the Dark Ages. Like those fools who claimed that heaven spun around the earth. Those who said the earth couldn't have been spinning even though they couldn't explain why. That argument kind of pisses me off because the earth is fucking spinning, fucking dick nuts. So this is basically what you're trying to say. If I can't explain how a human could do it, then I must accept that culprit is a witch? Yeah, his eyes are blue. What are Shannon's eye color? It's not that we're forcing you to go that far. We're just wondering on the basis why you could say such nonsense. Nonsense? Hey, have I been saying something just weird just now? Am I the one who's crazy? You guys are really starting to freak me out. Butler-sama. When I died in the boiler room, I was killed by the 19th person that shouldn't exist. Fucking faking it. Fucking faking it. That's how he was able to kill fucking Nazi. And how he was able to kill the other servants. My god. The time, all the location of the 18 were known. Except for yours, how do we know that you were reliable? Or even Kumasawa? Even so, I was killed. But Dr. Nanjo inspected his body. And they could tell that Cannon was surviving somewhat despite him being fucking stabbed in the chest. Like, that shouldn't be realistic, right? Talked about their story as well, right? Kumasawa Bachan, for example. She said she followed right after you when you headed down to the boiler room, but we can't know for sure whether that was a lie or not. For all we know, she might have entered the boiler room with you and caught you by surprise. Or maybe when you stepped in the boiler room, you activated some kind of trap, one that might have hit you from one of those ice picks. With one of those ice picks. After all, the stink of Griffith's body was coming from the incinerator. Someone was bound to go and check. If the culprit set up a trap beforehand, they could have easily stayed away from that place and used time for Kennegun's death to create an alibi. They have similar eye colors.
It's very... It looks the same-ish. I wasn't ready for her to be there.
Like, I think Cannon's is a bit more blue, but I feel like they have such similar eye colors, and they're not related by blood. And they're from the same quote-unquote orphanage.
What's under the hat?
What's under the tits? I mean...
You talk about... It's all the ice pigs. You talk about a trap in the boiler room, so what kind of trap could that be? Oh yeah, that's me. That's right. Following his death, everyone immediately ran over to the boiler room, but we didn't find any kind of weird device, did we?
That is correct.
Yeah, his are a little bluer.
Did we see... a bit... Well, actually, look closely. Do you think it just looks a bit bluer because, like, he has black hair? Well, I guess they are kind of bluer, but...
Fuck, they are the same color. I just singled them out, right?
Bro, we never... Wait, did we even see Cannon's, like, actual dead body? Like, I feel
No,
like
we never
did,
did.
right? Oh my fucking god. fucking Dr. Nando's and all.
Wait, that's so crazy. They are the same color. I covered up the rest of the hair and I'm like, wait, they are the same color.
Oh my fucking god. I wear a black wig, put in some eye contacts, and turned into a real Korean. Annyeong, my name is Pangneem. Bro. Bro, this is episode 1. No way this is all real, dude. But we didn't see Cannon's fucking body in the parlor, bro. We only saw that like Dr. Nando said he died, but we didn't see his dead body. Are they the same height too? Wait, Loki.
It's hard to tell.
Okay, but she looks like she's wearing like a bit of heels. Like
He looks a little shorter, but it's just like his portrait's higher up too, so.
Yeah, like.
I think they are about the same height.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
They're kind of the same build, but they got different shoe size.
You don't know if they got different shoe size.
What's under that pants, Cannon?
Bro, don't. What's under that pants?
The tattoo.
Wait, maybe he does have a tattoo. Why is why is he covering up that spot? Like, I know he's like a guy, but still, it's like suspicious. They kind of look like the same height.
Yeah, here they're the same height.
Oh my god, we just solved Umineko.
Wait a minute.
That is good.
His hairline starts here, but her hairline starts a little back. Is it because he's wearing a bald cap?
He's fucking wearing a wig. Bro, he's wearing a wig! Also, like, I don't know, the anime portraits are kind of unreliable, but just like...
Bald cap, it's gonna come into play.
Wait, let me search up if they have the same voice actor.
No, that's probably gonna be cheating.
Okay, fine. That is correct. Battler-sama, what kind of trap I could have been killed with?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that. But anyways, they must have been some kind of clever trapper. Maybe someone's lying. Or what about this?
Could have thrown it in the fire after it. Well, what'll be the point of doing that then? He could have just killed him when he got in. Or what if it shot from the fire or something?
Oh! I called this part. That's it, you were play acting. I don't know about that, but I know that they were only pretending. I don't know about that, but I know that we didn't expect Cannon's body after he died, which is a good chance that Dr. Nando, who also works under Kinzo, was sabotaging everyone else as well. Oh, Battler, why are you so stupid? We just solved the case right here, right? Bro, I should be in Detective Conan. I'll be like, I love Detective Conan. He would have solved this case. I made a closed room of themselves, and we're only pretending to be dead.
Battler, has your head been, feeling okay? Should I bring some cold drinks?
Don't look at me with those pitying eyes. I'm not saying something crazy, right? I'm just pointing out some possibilities you might find if you call it as a trick. Think of it all as a trick. Look, it's a pretty classic trick, Mr. Stone. Yes, it is.
Classic trick.
In other words, when Kannan was killed, we knew for sure we knew where all the rest of us are. Let's assume Kumasawa-san Kumasawa-chan wasn't lying. That's only counting the survivors. What if the real culprit pretended? Bro, what if the Battler's like right? And that's like lose track of them, then acted on their own, everything would be explained.
Are you trying to say Aunt Ava or one of the others was the culprit? But didn't Dr. Nanjo confirm all the deaths as a doctor?
That's right, but Dr. Nanjo... You can't use Dr. Nanjo as an alibi if he's working under Kinzo and then is with Genji all the time and probably has a gay love affair with Kinzo. Why else? Okay, because like Kinzo's, there's only a couple people allowed into Kinzo's room, and those are all the servants.
I just thought it was a Kinzo, come down for dinner. No.
No.
Kinzo's son, I'm gay, fuck me. Yes, Nanjo.
Yes, Nanjo. Bro, is this old man Yao? That's right, Dr. Nanjo checked all the victims. Did he check if you had boobs or not? Like if Shannon-chan had boobs? That's not sexual harassment, I guess. It is sexual harassment. But like I have good suspicion to assume they're fake.
Shannon, I have to touch them.
Ballard did, like, almost. No, he didn't touch them because
Right.
Jessica hit her in the head.
But why didn't Shannon stop it then? Because what if it blew the cover?
Well, I think like fake boobs are actually pretty sturdy. Have you seen drag queens with fake titties, bro?
No, I've not.
They actually, like, with enough cosmetics, those things can look real even though it's just silicone. And if the Ushiro-Miya family probably can afford that. Because, you know, Power-sama, for your theory to work, wouldn't Dr. Nanjo have to be one of the culprits too? He is. Yeah, that's right. Why don't you consider Dr. Nanjo might have been part of one of the culprits that faked the proclamation of death? The whole story changes. See, that's also a classic trick in mystery novels, isn't it? But Dr. Nanjo was also killed, right? About that, if everyone was blindly following someone who was dead. That's right, Dr. Nanjo faked his death. After all, there wasn't anyone except Dr. Nanjo who could examine the corpse properly, and everyone was really confused anyway. We didn't have time to spare. We didn't have any spare time to check to see if he still had a pulse. For this theory, any one of the dead people could have been walking around. Ooh. Valor's growing a few brain cells.
Yeah, because they let Nanjo handle everybody else who died prior, but then when Nanjo died, they didn't even check if the other three were dead. I mean, for all we know, like, if we look at... Okay, well, her head smashed in, but, like... I was gonna say, she doesn't really have much, like, exterior damage, but... I mean, they could have just checked. But they didn't.
What I think, because one of the, wait, if Cannon was the culprit in the first thing, and that wasn't Shannon's body, that would make sense why he was there, and probably guarding against Shannon's body from being seen by George. In a way, if he bribed Ava and Hidi, bro, I feel so. I need to see this through to the end just to see my theories right. We didn't have any spare time to check to see if he still had a pulse. With this theory, any one of the dead people could have been walking around.
I think it would have been hard for the 6 of us who died in the beginning to do that.
How are you sure 6 of you who died?
After all, the shutters were closed, and there was a padlock that couldn't be opened from the outside, from the inside. That's right. Mom was holding onto that key. So was Mom one of the culprits too?
Cannon! It's fucking Cannon! Oh my fucking god! It's fucking
Because he was on the outside, so he could have opened it up.
Oh my god, it's fucking Cannon. It's fucking Cannon.
We solved the fucking mystery.
Cannon, Shannon, bro. Oh my fucking god, it's all the fucking servants. Oh my god, everything could just be fucking explained if you just think of it like that. But Battler's stupid! And he's getting gaslit, so he's gonna go into the pressure and think he's stupid. Wait a sec, maybe it's just impossible for the first 6, but the case of Aniki's parents, the door was only locked from the outside. They could have been opened from the inside. Bro, shut up. Oh my god, this is so much dialogue. We already solved the story. Just skip it all. Who needs to read Umineko? Just... That's right. After we left the room, maybe they jumped out the window and got to the boiler room first. Or if it was canon, just went to the boiler. Isn't that too much of a stretch? Maybe it was just canon. Or maybe Dr. Nandro made a mistake when examining the corpus. Yes, and it was also canon. Look, he said himself, right? So there's a very high probability that making mistakes when examining the corpse. If you disguise it well enough to prepare a substitute body, you could fake your own death. Let's leave the method of trickies for later. And you see, it's not hard to deny the 90th person existed, right? Much less a witch, right? At least that much is completely impossible. Don't know why you're here. You've been trying to stubbornly say that one of us is the culprit. In other words, you want to suspect one of your relatives? This isn't... This has to be a dream, or not like a real thing. Obviously, because it can't be a purgatory. These aren't real people.
I want cereal, but I don't have milk that isn't expired from 2 weeks ago.
You have water?
I'm not eating water cereal.
I did that once and it was not good. Even if I did one did, I think we should construct our argument from the point of view of the culprit was a human. I'd only accept it's a wish and desperation, and after the very end, everything else has been proved. There's no way witches exist, right? Why has everyone been casually saying that the culprit was a witch? I think it's great to know how your family loves makes you hate the thought that someone was close to you is the murderer. But it's okay to let that fool you? I couldn't read that sentence. I think these sentences are awfully constructed. Don't you want to find the detestable culprit who killed so many people? Aniki, don't you want to avenge your parents? Jessica, don't you want to avenge Canon-kun? And Canon-kun, don't you want to avenge Shannon-chan? No, they're both the culprit. Shannon-chan, you should at least know who it was that killed you. It was I totally surrendered and say the culprit was a witch. What's wrong with all of you?
The foolish and short-tempered battler tried to force his ignorance on the others and yelled at them. However, everyone just looked at him pityingly, silently watching over him. At that time, the wise Maria laughed and pointed out Battler's mistake.
I'm shocked. Oh, I see you repeating the nonsense. You think you figured out something, Battler? Was it so? What's next? I need a pee. How would a human do it?
Alright, go pee. I'll pee too. Oh, I can't run an ad. We already had ads. Here we. Now we're back.
We're so back.
Why is my screen black?
How would a
There it is.
I see. How would a human do it?
How would a dog do it?
I think it's dumb. Oh.
I got some cereal with no milk.
I got lemonade.
I wonder how that would
Squish.
taste with my cereal.
Probably not that good. You know, I don't like the argument or it can't being like, these murders feel unsolvable. It has to be a witch. They're trying to trick you.
A cop out. Also, I like how I don't know who said it. Somebody in the story said it. Might have been Valor. But as long as you keep throwing out ideas, eventually you'll have the right ideas. You just need the logic behind them.
Exactly.
So, like, we have possibly the right idea. We just need to explain it somehow, which we kind of already done. But I would need to like have recontext because it's been a while since we were in those days.
I think it's if you associate the fact that Cannon and Shannon have not been in front of anyone.
Yeah, I seriously don't think there's been one scene of that. It'd be funny if there was and we just forgot, but I don't think there is.
I'm thinking back on everything and like, no, haven't seen a scene where only scene is when Cannon is looking at Shannon's dead body, but we don't even know if that dead body belongs to Shannon. And
Yeah.
The fact that like
Would have to be talking.
Because remember, George was the only one. George didn't see Shannon's body, and George knows what Shannon's face looks like, obviously. But he doesn't know Cannon. In practical terms, I mean.
Or maybe they smashed the face because they couldn't get it to look quite right.
I don't think so. Remember, magic needs risk.
Yeah, and they left Cross's faces like that, maybe because it was actually him. Very possible it was actually him. And
I think it was actually Cross.
And if not, then they needed to leave it half open so that they could use that to assume that the rest were also like him. By proving that at least one of them was real.
And if Aunt Ava and Hideyoshi were in on it, let's say they were in on it for at least like the first murder.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the second murder was unexpected. But if they were at least in on it in the first murder, because the way they were acting was just like, because none of their people have died.
They could like fake their deaths to escape debt and stuff.
They could, or what's likely is that someone bribed them prior, and so they covered up Shannon's because Hideyoshi was so against like George looking, and you know, you could frame it as like a father being sympathetic for his son, but
And I think the fact that they went out of their way to say that might be a little suspicious.
yeah, it's like such a suspicious thing to draw your attention away from. So if Shannon was canon and that was just like a fake body or like a fake like a swap out, and Cannon was also there feigning his sadness, yeah, we kind of just solve it there, right?
I wish we could open up the CGs. It's a shame they don't have that.
We saw the dress, but the body. I've been saying this from the beginning. I don't trust Shannon's body.
Now let's continue so we can get out of this fucking purgatorio.
I fucking hate Purgatorio. I imagine you'll say, I can't think of anything right now, or it was some kind of device using abstract stories to run away and evade the topic.
I mean, George and Jessica like it's the same person.
No, I think because they're in the same scenes together.
No, I meant Cannon and Shannon. If they're the same, then George and Jessica likes the same person.
Oh yeah, yeah, they probably do like the same person. But it's all method acting, right? What I really want to know, Battler, is this. Why don't you believe in Beatrice? She exists, so why don't you believe? Because she doesn't exist! Witches don't exist!
We've been saying this for a while. I'll speed it up. I was almost as if spoiled child you didn't want to accept this. The pitying gaze quietly closed around Battler, but they didn't reach this stubborn heart. You realize that you're acting like a spoiled brat through it. Battler-sama, you're being a spoiled brat.
Witches does exist.
Battler-kun, why don't you believe? Even though there's so much proof. It's not that there's proof, it's just a lack of proof.
That's like how, you know how like there's a saying, there's a thing where like a guy is more attractive, like a guy's face is more attractive the less information you get of it.
I don't know what that means.
Basically, like people in China, like netizens, there was like a trend because like guys kept like showing ways how they would like catfish with their face, even though they weren't attractive themselves, by just like changing angles or like covering up their like. So like, you know, the less information you have, the more you have to assume the big gaps. But the big gaps of expectations, typically it's more astronomical than like the actual thing. So to assume it's just magic just because you have a lack of evidence is like kind of crazy. I don't accept the argument that the wish must have been behind everything just because I can't explain it. Does that mean if you don't know how a light bulb shines, then its magic is the cause? That's wrong, isn't it? There's nothing that can't be explained without magic. All this stuff about witches and magic is just an abdication of thought. Damn, he pulled out a fucking dictionary midway.
I don't even know what that means.
You just surrendered and gave up because you don't understand what happened. Isn't that right? Well, unsurprisingly, it looks like you alone won't believe no matter what, Battler. Even if a single person doesn't believe, the miracle won't occur. If you don't rethink your ignorant theories, the miracle, the magic won't be completed. Now I see, I finally figured it out. So in other words, unless they're trying to force me to say witches exist, right? A lie that everyone accepts becomes the truth. Is that all this is about? I'm sorry, I'm drinking lemonade like I'm drinking soup. I'm sorry I keep going on about this, but what you're doing is all useless. I refuse. Yo! You guys are oppressing me. That's why it's all useless. Why? Sorry, but why don't you let me spin the chessboard one last time? And want to force me to accept that there's a witch? There's a really easy way. And it's not the indirect way of saying it must be a witch because a human couldn't have done it. All I have to do is show me a witch that's doing it with magic. Further, what Maria said earlier is what will really dig her grave. Is that even one person believes me, a miracle won't happen. Real miracles happen whether people believe them or not. Even if I alone won't believe. So miracles and magic of riches that only exist because I believe in them are downright lies. That's how cults happen. Yada yada does it.
I dropped it. Dropped it. Cereal. Where I went. In an uneasy mood following Battler's ignorant rant was blown away by a very soft and light laugh. Whose laugh? Tyler was surprised. He had never heard that voice before. When he looked at George and Jessica, at Cannon and Shannon, and Maria, he noticed that he had suddenly gone respectfully gone respectfully silent. Whoa,
Dude, Battler's in some fucking acid trip right now.
they're kind of huge.
How
I have to
amazing.
say it.
Wait, compare them to Shannon.
Was she in the portrait? No.
No.
Natsuhi's are better.
How amusing. I haven't met such a charming human for quite some time. What? Oh. Fucking, why did you fucking put WH if you didn't fucking... Who are you? Don't you even know the host of the tea party you were invited to? How amusing indeed. This is Beatrice. This is Beatrice Sama, the golden witch who has lived for thousands of years.
It's an honor to be graced with your presence, Beatrice-sama. Please forgive Battler's ranting. That guy's just stubborn, and he still doesn't understand the situation he's in.
What a treat this is. Most witches get tired of living after the first 1,000 of years. How nice it is to meet a man with a backbone such as yourself every once in a while.
It is quite an honor to be present when Beatrice shows herself, Battler.
Ow. Astonishing. Are you really that witch that makes... Are you really that desperate to make me believe that a witch? That a 19th person is the culprit? This is starting to get interesting. It's all useless. It must be the illusion that Maria and the others keep calling the witch, Beatrice. And you're only allowed to exist if everyone believes it. You have that kind of half-existence, right? You have that kind of a half... You have that kind of a half-existence, right? The fuck? That's why you want to make me believe too.
Whoops.
You can't exist because I alone don't believe in you. Your powers of comprehension aren't bad for a mere commoner who knows nothing about magic. Yes. It seems that you were born with a strong magic-resisting power. You're a natural enemy of us witches. No matter how much we upturn your world upside down, you never believe in us. Therefore, the magic won't succeed. I accept that attitude of yours. I've got no clue what you're saying. Very kind of you to go to all the trouble of showing yourself to us. I don't believe you exist even in the slightest. It's true that many strange things happened in those 2 days. Maria said earlier, Cannon and Shannon weren't in the same fucking room together! Even though I think all the tricks would be explained, I still can't lay out the practical details of each one. However, that doesn't mean I'll surrender. I'm different from the rest of them, got it? I'm different from the rest of them, believe it! I'll never accept that was the work of a witch just because I can't explain it. This keeps getting more amusing. When you surrender will be with my wife. You're just like the kind of man I'd like to force into praising my... Is this Jesus? I'd like to make amends. I'd love to make a man like you kiss my toes.
Well, allow me to touch your titties first, Beatrice.
If you want to talk nonsense, talk all you want. I deny your existence. How the events can be explained with human tricks. There's no room even speck of magic for witches. Wonderful! Perfect way to divert oneself from 1,000 years of boredom. And let me ask you. You said that using a crack in the door would be sufficient to kill Ava and Hideyoshi, right? Explain how they could be killed using a cannon fucking just enter the room normally. Don't you get rid of Does that mean this is a trick you're proudest of? Miss Real Culprit. I think she's also Shannon.
With a shake, with the shake of a golden pipe, gentle multicolored smoke trailed out the end. The smoke quickly obscured the surroundings, and they were suddenly in the hallway of the mansion. The door in front of them was slightly open, but secured by the chain that's right, it's the door to the room where Ava and Hideyoshi were killed.
Nice trick. Very well. Show me what you do. You're the small crack battler. It was Cannon and Kumazawa, I fucking swear to God. Probably had some fights to shoot those ice picks, or just open the fucking door. Because Cannon apparently got How would Ava reach Ava? How would they reach Ava over on the bed when you can't see that far through the cracks? How would they reach Hideyoshi in the bathroom with the door shut? Why? Damn, why do...
They had an RC car.
Bro,
and it drove in there.
This is frustrating. They had a drone. There's a crack. Oh my god, this is frustrating me. Because if I was in this situation in real life, I would first accuse Kanon and Genji for being the only ones who had access during the murder during those times, and that Hideyoshi 1 hour apparently since the murder, right? And they had to spend like only a couple minutes doing all that stuff. Oh my freaking god. Nanjo was probably gave them like less, tried to give them an alibi by declaring the time.
What's interesting is that when the Six died, and when Grandfather was missing, they always questioned who was the last person to see them. But when Ava and Hideyoshi died, they stopped asking who was the last person who saw them.
Exactly. What probably happened is that Grandfather died earlier in the day. That's after Natsu saw Grandfather. There's a good chance he was left or was gone and died. We can't think of one. Allow me. Oh, how would a witch do it? Come on, let me see your little trick.
Butler, you're being rude to Beatrice.
How nice, how nice. What a charming man. I'll make more fun to force him into submission. You really you really want to make me kiss your toes that much? Only if I surrender. Watch, I'll definitely expose this trick, and then I'll make you kiss my ass instead. Oh, what a delightful man. I'll remember that promise. Weak witches kiss the behinds of demons to gain power. Because there's no more humiliating oath. Just being told that makes me want to force you to surrender.
Paying no mind to Battler's worthless ranting, Beatrice once again shook the golden pipe. That's right. The golden pipe was her precious magic cane.
Narrator's definitely fucking the author of this shitty story. Come on, arse my children, arise my children. I am the guide of purgatory. Forgive the deadly sins and hold the 7 states.
Guided by those magic words, which sounded like a command, 7 stakes scattered. They were the stakes of the 7 demons, symbolizing the deadly sins of sinful people.
Beelzebub and Asmodeus. Come, forgive these sins. Release the spirits of the sinners.
The picks of Beelzebub and Asmodeus responded to Beatrice's call. The 2 stakes of the demons were stuck through the crack of the door, like billiard balls struck by a cue stick. Then, several scattered noises refracted through the wall, making it sound like a woodpecker. At the end, a pleasant sound could be heard. It was a small, satisfying sound, like the one heard when someone is chopping firewood, and the falling axe neatly and easily slices through the wood. It was the sound of 2 pigs burying themselves deep into Ava and Hideyoshi's foreheads.
Oh, right down the middle. Want to see?
They definitely heard 2 sounds like a pair of foreheads being split open. Balor wasn't permitted to see it since he was on the other side of the door.
The curtain! Wait, but you're right, the curtain was ripped up, right?
Yeah.
So there has to be struggle.
They
But
lay not... And...
A pick to the head is an instant death, so fucking... It
Yeah,
can't
hold
be
on,
magic.
Draw my earbud.
Oh.
Right. What are you saying?
A pick? Okay. An instant death would be, you know, a pick to the head, right? And he would not have enough time to struggle and rip at the shower. But if someone went in to kill him, then obviously he would have enough time to struggle before the pick reached his forehead. If it was just like, you know, magic fucking daggers bouncing everywhere, you wouldn't see a sign of struggle in the bathtub. So...
Yeah, and also... If it did, like, levitate to his head, it would have just, like, basically shot through the curtain and made a hole rather than, like, a rip. Or it would have just avoided the curtain and just went straight to his head. And there's no way this curtain is just torn, because there's no way the servants would have allowed for, like, a shitty little curtain to remain here. Like, it would have been replaced.
So I'm just assuming that Kanon and Genji went inside, because if I had... Okay, my first thought if I was a rich, noble person is, oh, my servants are calling me to dinner. I'm probably safe, and I will answer this door. I'll open the door for them, and they would probably attack me, because I was stupid and let the door open and trusted my servants. Because when you... It's like, you know, especially if you grew up affluent, you just assume that you're, like... Especially, like, these people... They probably just assume, like, oh yeah, I've known these servants for a while. Especially Genji. Because Genji grew up, like, taking care of them. So, like, they would have gained this trust from them. And then, like, it'd be so easy to just kill the victims right there. And then just frame it like you guys were trying to run around and, like, open the door with the lock. And, you know, yeah, the door does look like that. And then you could also, frame, like, a magic circle. Because, did anyone see the door clean before the servants put the mark up there, right? Because, like...
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So, when Genji and Kanon were at the door, there was no writing on it. However, when Kanon arrived with Kumasawa, there was paint on it. But they went to the shed first to grab the pliers. But there's also paint buckets in there, aren't there? I'm pretty sure they said there was like stuff in there.
Yes.
So maybe instead of grabbing pliers, they actually grabbed paint, drew it on the door.
I think they did grab pliers because it would be suspicious.
Well, the
if-
pliers would only be there to cut the lock if the chain was actually even chained up.
I think they would freight. Okay, but if you think about it, if Cannon said, "Yeah, I tried to get," they have to make it look like they.
Well, yeah,
If
I mean,
I
it doesn't
was-
matter if they did it or not, but they could have, because there's no way they're holding the paint with them the entire time, so they probably picked it up on the way there to paint it.
Yeah, I think the murders happened way, like, less than an hour had to pass, right? I'm pretty sure the murders happened way before than just the hour that Nanjo diagnosed, because Nanjo, we can't trust him because he works under Kinzo. So it makes it. I don't know if it's actually paint or blood, because it like kind of looks like red like blood, so we could just like, take their blood, paint with it, and make a little. Honestly, like.
Well, they keep saying blood-like, so it can't be blood. Otherwise, they would have just noticed it was blood.
Well, I feel like maybe they're just stupid and in denial.
Alright.
But yeah, I think like it all makes sense that Beatrice, like, you know, you moron. That's insane. You think you can just kill them like that? Bro, I'm gonna just speedrun. I can kill them! I can kill them just like this. Cackle, cackle, cackle.
I think they were no longer in the hall, but seated at the tea party they had started from. The woman with Battler was sitting meekly, but Cannon was moaning, fresh blood dangling from his mouth. What a rude thing to do at a tea party. The inn steak was buried deep in Cannon's chest.
Cannon faked it. If it's deep inside his chest, he faked it. Cannon.
Battler was the only one getting agitated. George, Jessica, Shannon. Everyone else was merely hanging on their heads like students being yelled at by their teacher.
Cannon was captured by a tripling anger, tried to disturb my banquet, but was being easily captivated by anger is your deadly sin. Cleanse yourself, repent, and do it over. My eyes. Hat, rice, what?
Beatrice.
Rice-sama. I was so confused. Wait.
Beatrice-sama.
They're the same
Please
person.
forgive him. I think Cannon-kun has repented enough.
Wonderful. I'm generous to people who respect me. Cackle, cackle, cackle. Don't screw with me! Do you think I'll stop your sister back? Like how you're a 1,000-year-old witch? The tricks are 1,000-year-old, and some of them but I thought they said this was to be short, bro. There's no such thing as magic. Definitely not. All crimes can be explained with human tricks. Cackle, cackle. You would explain my 1,000 years with 100 years humans? Good, that's why I like you. Foolish Battler,
Cut it out, Battler. You can't go against a witch.
Her titties fall off.
Cannon started moaning, holding her cheek. Maybe she had a toothache. But apparently it wasn't a toothache at all. A slight redness spread across the cheek Shannon was holding. It looked like the redness was causing Shannon unbearable pain. Her fingers were pressing against the inside of her cheek, and drops of sweat appeared all over her body. Shannon! Shannon! Hang in there! Hang in there!
What's going on? Damn it, what is that red stuff?
It expanded rapidly, covering half of Shannon's face. Then the stupid dunce Battler finally realized. Please, Battler-kun. Please believe in Beatrice. I beg you. Because you won't believe. Because you won't believe. The magic is dissolving. For the first time in his life, Battler heard that sound, like a pomegranate splitting. The red spray even landed on Battler's face. Poor Shannon's face had been split in half, and her last horrible moments in the storehouse were repeated once again. Shannon! Shannon!
Don't humiliate the dead. who's not dead.
This time the redness spread across George's body. It was like a beautiful cloud drawn by milk that was poured in black tea. It spread out and extended all across his body. As it did, it seemed to give George increasingly greater pain. Looking at the bizarre spectacle, Battler was petrified as he frantically thought about his pitiful, clumsy imagination. About the nature of the strange death George and the rest were experiencing. Eventually, the redness stretched to the nearby Jessica as well.
Stop it, stop it, stop it! What did Aniki do? What did Jessica do? Just stop them!
Battler, don't let the witch break your spirit. Deny her. Erase her. As long as at least one person denies her, she's an illusion that can't exist.
You think she's okay? Aniki, what happened?
George was no longer recognizable as a human. He looked like a pile of leftover meat after the good, delicious meat had been scraped off to be cooked.
Bro.
The only thing that even resembled a human was the shape of his lower jaw and ribcage. And it was clear that Jessica, who was covered in a steadily strengthening redness, was approaching the same fate.
Oh, quickly, believe in Beatrice. If you don't, ever.
What?
Everyone.
Everyone. Oh, oh my fucking god! Everyone's magic.
Yone's magic.
Will dissolve.
Yone. Marie, it's all over your body too. I revive all the dead with my magic, but as long as you don't believe, the magic will hold no true power. Keko. But I'm sure a man like yourself won't surrender to something like this, right?
Butler, we didn't want to doubt our friends. We refused to face reality, given to the witch. But, Battler, you won't give in to the witch. Yeah. Jessica. Or Jessica met the same end. Just like George, she ended up like a butcher's leftover. George and Jessica were now so destroyed, melted, and mixed that I couldn't tell them apart.
Don't cry. You just restored the town of Crypto. There's nothing to be sad about. So, even if we die, we're still just fine.
Redness began eating into the whole of Maria's body. The foolish Battler watched and screamed.
Yeah, to keep calling it foolish, so the narrator's unreliable. What the fuck?
Oh wait, what the fuck?
His O is T. God damn! Wait, Beatrice has a portrait.
Oh. The Golden Witch, who has lived for 1,000 years, she has surpassed the limits of humans and, like demons, will sometimes appear in response to the summons made by humans to offer her power in exchange for a price. She likes black tea and ice cream. She hates boredom and people who deny her existence.
She likes black tea and ice cream.
Yeah, Natsuhi's hotter. She's covered in the wing.
Oh, I guess the wing is hers all along. I will forgive you. I will forgive you. A witch, magic. I risk my body and soul to deny you. No matter what happens, I can't accept you. Now that you're gone so far to piss me off, I'll never forgive you. I definitely will forgive you. I will forgive. I definitely will forgive you. You'll regret making me Ushiromiya Battler your enemy. He'll deny you no matter what. No matter how baffling things get, it can all be explained by humans. I'll erase every cell of you from this world. Well said, Battler, was it? This is the thing that divert me from the 1,000 years of boredom. Come explain. Try explaining with human tricks. They learn how lonely humans are. Let's see if your humanity has built up 100 years that can oppose my 1,000 of years. That's what only. Okay, guys, where's the fucking bunker? So tell me, who you call yourself Battler? What about Marie's letter? What about the however the 6 killed? The shutter, the receipt seal, the closed room with the chain, Ken in the boiler room, Genji, the others in the lounge. I think we solved like half of those. The only thing I'm not really sure is the receipt, but I think, yeah.
Why is she bringing up the receipt as if that was something she did?
Wait. Oh, wait! Wait, wait a minute. If Ava and Hideyoshi were part of the accomplices at the beginning, and Kinzo, and she agreed to help out with Kinzo, she could have just planted that there after Kinzo left. Or Kinzo was aware of the receipt. And so basically, Ava was just like, if Ava was an accomplice, it could be just solved if Ava was accomplice, like I mentioned, because like, they kept George from seeing Shannon's face. And like, they were bribed probably prior from the fucking murders. Natsu didn't kill herself, that's obvious. The riddle of the epitaph, it's probably a bunker. It's probably a bunker underneath. Oh my god. Yes, Battler, why don't you show me the power of humans?
What?
You look different from your portrait. Oh.
Catfishing. What, in the Evangelion?
That's what I was thinking. I think.
Is it the same
author-
font? It kind of looks like the same font.
I think the author was slightly inspired by. Wait. Check if they have the same voice actor.
I can't even possibly read. I can't even read like the letters. This text is so squished.
Bro, they tried to Evangelion us. How am I gonna read my own, like, if I was, imagine if you were one of the credits here, how is anyone gonna look at this and be
Yeah,
like,
my ass cannot read anything.
7th expansion. Rukishio 7, we just solved your mystery. Now present us with a more challenging mystery.
Yeah, Beatrice, make it harder.
Make it harder, we just solved it. We're not like your nerd anime characters. Oh. Look, you can find that at the title screen. The fuck is that? Why?
We're still in episode 1. We're not fucking done.
I know.
Alright, let me wash my hands real quick. And get water, because I'm out of water.
No.
Can I pause this here?
Wait, this looks like the... Oh.
Waiting for, Okay. 1 sec.
That looks like the Pokemon.
Yeah. I'm back.
Hello.
What? What the
What?
fuck?
What soda? Black tea. Oh. She loves black tea and ice cream, but hates people. She hates being bored
Execute.
and people. What's execute? What's resurrect?
What a
Oh.
useless dream. To try and kill me despite being a mere human, fire your bullets, they will merely reflect back towards you like right off a mirror. However, there does exist one way to kill me. You hold that method in your palm of your hand. Though I doubt one as mediocre as you could pull it off.
You think if we do this 50 times, she'll finally die? I think witches only. Witches are low key like the fucking fairies from Tinkerbell, bro.
If I click 1,000 times, she'll die.
Wait. Oh no.
Who the fuck are we?
I thought this would be like some like creepy pasta if we resurrected her and killed her, but she's okay.
This looks like the Velvet Room in Persona 5.
My first thought was like, you know the Pokemon creepy pasta where like you're in like a weird like
Yeah,
I forgot.
the tower.
I don't remember. What sort of black tea? What sort of black tea shall I prepare next? Allow me to display every refined tea that was and ever shall be. Oh my god, it's the girl from Higurashi.
I always hear that.
Right? Yeah, black? No.
You have the other
Red.
witch.
Alright. Dried plum black tea.
What the fuck?
Is this not? Is this not?
I'm
is
pretty
this
sure it's her
really-
talking.
Is it? I don't know. They didn't put the fucking thing down.
Well, she doesn't have a name yet.
Oh.
It's her, it's Higurashi.
It's isn't there? Yeah, I know there's two Higurashi characters in this.
Really? I only know this one. I've seen this part still, so I've still seen this part.
There's the blonde-haired girl. There's a blonde-haired girl who's like also from Higurashi.
I don't know any
Very
blonde
like-
Higurashi characters.
What? She's like the girl wearing green, and this girl. There's like an iconic anime scene where like she beats her with like a fucking chair.
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, okay.
Dried plum black tea. The kind that goes for 200 yen a pack.
For 1,000 years, I've been fond of black tea, but I did not know of such a thing. I will never tire of the living in this world.
Beto, you don't have to display such hostility. I am just a wandering witch. I didn't come with the intention of violating the rules of your territory.
Hostility? I almost choked my saliva. I bear nothing of the sort. I am just terribly concerned with seeing it to it. The legendary witch, Lady Burkastel, is well attended to.
Birkenstell? That's Higurashi.
Burkastel.
You misunderstand. I am powerless. Before a witch such as you, who possesses the dreadful power to kill an individual 100 times, I am completely powerless.
And a powerless lady like you possesses a power that none can approach is truly what is terrifying. After all, that great witch Lambda Delta was dethroned by you alone.
Lambda Delta.
Lambda Delta.
Yep. I only won an endurance contest. She simply got tired.
That is not what Lady Lambda Delta said, though. Too much humility can be unseemly, Lady Birkenstell.
That girl has a dreadful power. The power to kill an individual without fail. However, without fail doesn't exist in this world. No matter how many times you divide one, you could never reach zero. That girl has the power to bring the odds of failure down to almost exactly zero. The power to give rise to almost perfect certainty. I hope I never have to fight such a terrifying witch again.
However, you have the power to cause the sex without fail, as long as the odds are not zero. Though you say without fail doesn't exist in this world, you possess an infallible power yourself. How terrifying!
The power to kill an individual endlessly. I think you are the more terrifying one.
You jest. From your point of view, mine is but a trifling power. This is most certainly what one could call empty praise.
Call it flattery to make up for the cost of staying here. I am a fleeing traveler who crosses the fragments, continually running from boredom. I simply came around because I heard you'd started something interesting. I have no doubts that I will choose to leave as soon as you are no longer interesting.
I, Beatrice, am deeply humbly delighted to have the great Lady Birkenstell as an observer. And so, your impression?
Oh shit.
Can you execute her?
The Witch of the Fragments who lived 1,000 years. It is said she lives in a world where the concepts of fate possibilities can be visualized. She observes the fate of humans and sometimes interferes. In other words, sometimes she is you, and sometimes she is your friend. Understand? She likes wine and ooh! Like me for real. She hates boredom and people who never learn. She's a fucking cat girl? What?
What do you mean, cat girl?
Got a cat tail.
Oh, I know there are gonna be characters with cat ears in this game, and that's confusing. Wait, can you execute her?
Oh, I forgot about that. By constantly continuing to think, I will live forever. In other words, if I were to stop thinking, I could die at any time. However, once I start thinking, I can also revive at any time. That's why I'm fickle and whimsical. I live as I please, I die as I please, I revive as I please.
Okay. Oh wait, that's kind of cool. Wait,
did you see that?
her?
Yeah, she looked at. Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, was she always staring at me? So I like.
Wait, can you execute both of them?
Well, I mean, her expression just changes, but. It's pretty
execute
creepy.
both of them and keep them executed.
You both.
They can stay dead.
Lambda Delta is terrifying because of her cruelty, but she's a girl. I can understand. You do seem you do seem to be capable of affection, but I can't understand you at all. That makes you much more terrifying than her.
I am fickle by nature. Do forgive me. Besides, I believe you also enjoy trusting your fate for the roll of a pickled dice. Right, Lady Birkenstell?
When I roll the dice, I have a roll I clearly want to get, unlike you. You, on the other hand, never let the dice fall from your hand, so whatever the roll might have been, you're never disappointed. Whatever roll the dice shows you, you are satisfied without fail. In other sense, you far surpass me. You're the one I really don't want to fight with. Inside of you, there's nothing but zero. That's why I can't win against you with my power. It's the worst compatibility. Perhaps Lambda Delta, on the other hand, has a good compatibility against you. And she would be able to kill your endless nature.
Oh yes, witches are truly the best people to enjoy black tea with. One doesn't get bored.
And I'm relieved. Boredom is the only poison that can kill me. So don't kill me, okay? Lady Beatrice, Endless Witch. She just gained a new title.
If such is your wish, I'll show you an even better time. In that case, wouldn't it be best if I brought the next chessboard right away? It seems that the Knight's Tale would do you more for you than another cup of black tea. Just wait for a moment. I can't laugh on command without hurting my throat. Can you guys stop laughing?
Why are you looking at me? Something troublesome seems to have taken a liking to you. I'd really like to lend you my power, but as you just heard, that girl's power and mine have very bad compatibility. Unfortunate as that may be, but you really are pitiful, so I'll help you out just a bit. First of all, about that girl. She does have the name Beatrice, but that doesn't necessarily mean is one individual woman.
It's canon.
Get what I mean? In other words, she's not some human. Her existence is a personification of the rules of the world. To beat her, you have to expose the rules of this world and unravel them. Perhaps this can be likened to learning the rules of chess by watching the game. First, take a look at the chessboard. Then, learn the movements and roles of the pieces. Then, look for the conditions required to win at her game. When you've managed to reveal all these things, her heart will be exposed. After that, you can rip it apart or crush it as you please. I am being quite generous. In the past, when I had a human body, it took me 100 years to notice even this much. This is my meager farewell gift to you, the pitiful one captured by Beto. It's just like a spoon. A spoon can be used for more than just drinking soup. You can use it to dig through the prison you're locked in, or as a weapon to gouge the witch's eyes out. Of course, you can also use the spoon to continually sip the watery soup inside your eternal cell. Don't get me wrong, or don't get the wrong idea. I have no intention of becoming your ally. I do feel sympathy for you, but I won't help you. It's like I'm sitting in front of the television yelling at you on the other side, even though my voice won't reach you. So you understand that I'm a witch, right? You didn't even yell it, what? Why was that in caps?
I don't fucking know.
I intend to enjoy this endless tale that Beto is going to weave until I tire of it. But that alone won't hold my interest. That's why I'll lend you my power. It's also that I don't get tired of this. I am the cruelest witch in the world. Whoever the opponent may be, I'll make them surrender with certainty. Even if it's Beatrice, the endless witch. Okay? You are my game piece. Give it your best shot. I'll give you advice sometimes, out of her sight.
I think we solved it already.
Don't bore me, okay? What if she got bored because we solved it instantly, and then she just fucking gave up on us?
Yeah, we already solved it. Fuck. Then are we just taking like hella acid right now? They locked us up in a room. A room full of rats. Oh? A rubber room. A rubber room full of rats, and the rats made me crazy.
Yay.
Yay! I hope this doesn't give us another episode for us to look through. Because I will go insane.
Fish. Tips.
Oh. We can still use
Oh hey,
X.
we can read this. Wonder if the specific demon means anything. They said it was for each sin, right? So there's 7, right? 3, 6, 7. Yeah, there's so 1 for the 7 deadly sins. Missing on the 10th Twilight. They definitely said he died before. What?
I think they didn't mean that literally.
This is strange. Wait, what? This is new. Okay, hold on. A sawed-off custom version of a rifle manufactured during the golden age of Winchesters. This special model more than makes up for its shorter lethal range by its portability and old-time cool factor. It can even be fired as quickly as a pistol if one works the lever action skillfully enough. Furthermore, any true lover of old Western dramas can't help but be attracted to the one-handed reload made possible by its characteristic lever handle. To match with Kinzo's personal preferences, it was made to handle .45 long Colt bullets. It holds 4 plus 1 round. So 1 loaded and then 4 in the chamber, I guess. So strange that we don't actually see this until now. And the 7 stakes, okay. Stakes containing the 7 magics that represent 7 deadly sins. In accordance to their users' orders, they bury themselves into the desired location of the desired target with perfect accuracy. Because they fly at ultra high speeds and change their trajectories at will by bouncing off of walls and the like, there are no blind spots, and will hit their target without fail no matter what form or cover they may be hiding behind. Furthermore, it is possible to change the force they hit with depending on the part of the body at which they strike. They are extremely powerful weapons, but they cannot target pure people who have not committed one of the 7 deadly sins, or people who have a strong resistance to magical power. Fuck. So sins actually matter. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. What deadly sin is Asmodeus?
Probably greed.
Hey Siri. What deadly sin is Asmodeus? Hey Siri. What are the 7 deadly sins and the devils that represent them? What the fuck? He doesn't want to give me anything.
Where's my phone? Oh, it's on the floor. I'll just search this up. Don't worry, guys.
I could just Google it. I don't know why. I just I had my phone. I was like, Siri can't hear me. Then I can't Google it. Then
Let me search up 7 deadly sins demons.
why is the first link
Lucifer.
Has Been Hotel?
Lucifer is the sin of pride. So who died from Lucifer? I'm assuming is
Genji. Yeah, that sounds about right. The prideful butler.
Mammon is the sin of greed, which is Kinzo.
I guess.
Asmodeus is the demon of lust.
Yeah, I
Twisting
guess.
people's desires. Leviathan embodies chaos and disorder, but is envy for Christianity. I don't know.
I kind of see that.
Beelzebub is associated with gluttony.
Because he's big?
Wait, what's all of them? Okay, Asmodeus, Lucifer, Belphegor. Wait, Belphegor. I need to pee again. Belphegor. Wait, this is
Is
not
it sloth?
showing. It is sloth. Satan is wrath.
Yeah, that makes
Canon
sense.
is wrath. Yeah.
I think they all kind of make sense.
Oh, look. Well,
Hey, they're all here.
the 7 deadly sins show up for me. Wait, oh, there's a beautiful image. Beelzebub's gluttony, and then you get other stuff. Alright, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. Wait, you can execute them. All. Well, we solved it. We solved it. Hmm. Nothing new.
Nah.
Hmm. I think the Winchester. I think my theory is right that. Like she
He got
becomes
smaller.
smaller.
That's strange.
I don't know if that's intentional or just the mod's fault. Oh, he got
It's-
smaller too.
Wait. Wait.
Wait.
Okay. So his gets smaller. Hers gets bigger. Oh, I was gonna say, maybe like... Holy shit, are these two... Maybe these two... The corpses are straight up just different sizes. But maybe Rosa is actually dead. And Goda is actually dead because it's the same body.
I don't know if that's like a glitch in the.
I don't know, but if it's intentional, it's crazy because we are suspecting that they're, you know, replacement bodies. So the fact that it's not even the same
wouldn't-
height would be kind of telling.
Maybe. I think it's more likely that the servants are the suspicious ones, though. So.
They have kind of similar hair.
I don't think Ava is the same person as Beatrice, because I don't even think Beatrice
Well, not their
is real.
same person, but very similar hairstyle.
I think, like,
And she has the
think-
the wings all over her.
I think our current. Well, that's just because. I think she's an accomplice. Like,
Yeah,
In the
definitely.
first murder, she's an accomplice.
They're all under
And-
her dress.
Big poofy dress. Honestly, I buy the fact that Shannon wore Beatrice's dress and convinced Maria that she was Beatrice. Is episode 2 finally unlocked?
Good morning, the Golden Witch eagerly awaits your arrival. Please do not grant her that wish. Were you able to get a good rest and perfect your strategy? The witch expects a lot from you and is more than ready to launch an assault right at the start. I also look forward to seeing your strategy. The difficulty level is extreme, which intends to make you suffer all at once. Standard. Extreme. Extreme. It better be extreme. It better be hard as hell.
I feel like we already solved the first one. I've heard that this game isn't really a time loop and rather just like... And because if this game isn't a time loop, then we already solved everything.
ジョージ様見てください
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Performed, it's the same description.
Wait, look at George's sprite. I'm gonna be Mike Battler, and I have an unwavering faith that what my theory is just, it's correct straight off the bat. They said that we couldn't have solved the mystery in episode 1.
But they should have taken to heart the words of Battler, and if you guess simply everything, then maybe you'll find it.
I do believe that there's a bunker underneath the thing. Because, well, stupid to think that Beatrice was talking about an actual village.
I think we should probably stop.
Fair enough.
It's about to be 10, and this is before anything happens. So I've still seen part of episode 2, and this is the reason why I dropped it. we're gonna go back to bullshit for maybe the next 5 hours.
Great. Well, apparently, hopefully this is shorter than episode 1's bullshit.
It is, well, I don't know if it's shorter because I dropped it before before finishing the end of the bullshit. But it's gonna be pretty boring for the next few hours.
Okay, but if I dedicate myself to my theory and just call out Shannon's bullshit every time she speaks, then it must be okay.
Maybe we can try like reading faster tomorrow or whenever.
Yeah. You
Because
know, I wish Umineko fans joined our stream so they could confirm or not whether my theory was right.
I don't
or
want
not.
them to confirm or not. I want to solve the mystery.
I feel like I already solved the mystery.
But I want to know
like-
that we solved it when we get there.
That's so true, but I think it's gonna. Oh, the answer arcs take so long. Answer arcs is like episode 6 to like 8, and I hear that you only get the answers in episode 7 or 8.
Dude, I'm just so confused. What the fuck happens for fucking this long in the game? There's no way.
It has to just be bullshit, right?
Like, it cannot possibly be this long of a story. I just have no idea how this goes on.
It's magic.
Yeah,
Just have to believe in magic.
I think I can't wait till we get the new stuff, because I really just want to figure out why people like it. I'm a big hater on things.
Yeah.
I get to read
I
Little
mean-
Busters tomorrow, hell yeah. So peak. I wish people
Right.
read Little Busters.
People do read Little Busters.
Yeah.
It's key. People like key.
Oh, speaking of Key, fucking dude, I was on YouTube Music and I got recommended an album from Key, and I found out that they recently uploaded like all of their songs onto Spotify and YouTube Music.
Look at that.
So like any vocal song throughout, you know, Key history is on that, and like
I
a
wish
bunch of
Super-
remixes they've done. Like, they don't have the entire OSTs, which a little sad because I would have done that. But I mean, I can get that other ways. But like, I'm so glad they have the fucking like literally like all the opening songs, the ending songs. They have all the insert songs. They have so many remixes of freaking songs that there's such fucking bangers. That's the thing I love about it. Is like there's no reason. They'll just be like, you know, it's been a while. Let's remake this song because we just really like it. There's like fucking 4 versions of like multiple songs from Little Busters because they just keep getting remixed.
Remix. Burp. Remix. Burp. Remix.
But I need more people to talk about Key. Because people know Key for Clanad anime, mostly.
Clannad. I mean, Key is one of the most popular. Is like one of the most popular visual novel like companies, alongside Neat Nitro Plus, Nitra Plus, and like I mean like I feel like if you go talk to people who play visual novels, they'll definitely talk about Key. Like Nitro Plus.
What did they
Kirara.
make?
Kirel. Nitro Plus?
Yeah.
Oh, they made Steins Gate,
Ew.
Chaos Head. Steins Gate, Chaos Head. Like
I've
Fate-
seen this on
Fate.
Steam.
Literally, Fate is like literally one of the most popular like visual novels to date. They made and their sister company made a bunch of the BL games, like Lamento. They made Chaos Child. They made Tono. You, me, and her or something. Like the one that inspired Doki Doki.
Mm-hmm.
which is not popular. They made, I think they also made Sayano Uta. They made like a bunch of iconic visual novels.
I really hope one day I can play all of Key's VNs. I'm very curious about. Apparently, they have a new one called Summer Pockets that I'd never heard anything about. But I was listening to some of the songs that were uploaded. I'm like, wait, they're fucking cooking. Like it feels like Key, but like Key's music has changed a lot. Obviously, I don't even know if it's like the same person every single time, but it has that like whimsical feeling, and then like
I feel
it's
like
just so
he's
fucking
very
good.
slice
And then
of life.
yeah, but it's not like the shitty like idol music that I fucking hate. So I love like Key's instrumental choices. If it's like it's hype and like warm at the same time.
Man, I wish Tsubahibi's vocal tracks would be released on Spotify. And I wish Sayonara Shiete's one vocal track
Sayonara
was
Oshiete.
Sayonara Aoshite. I wish that was released on the Spotify because that song's a banger.
I haven't even
I feel
heard
like
of all of the songs on their fucking thing. Like I've barely scratched halfway through their catalog.
I'm just happy Lamento's on there, but because like I love Lamento Beyond the Void. It's my favorite visual novel. Shingaku's pretty good, but I think Shingaku just bored me. It bored me for like it's kind of like the Umineko thing where like the character kind of fucks around a bit too long.
Hmm.
Where like, cause like what bored me was like I played cause like they recommend you play the routes in a certain order, cause like just for spoiler reasons and like knowing the content and mystery or whatever. And I played like the white-haired guys. I forgot his name just because I was just like it was just that boring. Leonid, probably. I, dude, oh my god, we kept going back to the club and it's like, oh, Teehee, he's actually messy, and he wasn't the perfect student. But then we kept going back and forth into his room, and I just got so tired of going back to his motherfucking room for like the fourth time in the route. And I'm sitting here like, bro, I want to know more of the mystery about the cult. Just show me more about the cult, okay? I didn't just get like I didn't just go see the main character get molested for no reason, okay? No, quite literally. It was like a uncomfortable scene and I kind of skipped it because like
Yeah.
I don't handle that stuff that well. But well, I handle it well enough to read stuff with it, but yeah, it was like I feel like games that are typically long could be cut down if they just got rid of like the unnecessary parts of like but like that's like the slice of life thing some people like. Like some people actually do like it when the fucking scene goes on for like 40 minutes despite it being able to be cut down to like a couple lines.
Hmm.
But I don't get it because I don't like it when I liked Lamento because even though parts felt like repetitive, I connected with the character. I feel like the commentary wasn't like exhausting to read because I felt like, oh, it gave me a new perspective of like my main character. Like it explained like his feelings, but they weren't obvious, you know? Like they explained the non-obvious feelings, unlike freaking Umineko, where it's like, oh yeah, he's probably upset, and then they like go on about how
Yeah.
it's exhausting. I can't stand that. But yeah. Anyways,
Anyways, I
we
think
won.
that's it for the
That's
story.
it. We won Umineko already, and
I
Beatrice
can't
doesn't
wait.
even know it.
I can't wait because when we're done with the visual, we can go back and realize we wasted hundreds of hours when we already knew the answer. Or we can go back and think, man, we're done.
I feel like we'll go back. I mean, like people tell us, oh, tell me, it's not about the solving the mystery, though that is fun. It's all about It's all about why done it than who done it.
I
And
don't
we
understand
only
what that
focus on
even means.
it means like the reasoning is better than like the mystery.
There's no way the reasoning's better. Like you can't. I feel like there's just no way to have a motivation that is simply that much better.
I mean, what if it's the book theory I presented
Book?
where it's like there's an author writing everything out. And it's like, you know the Attack on Titan plot twist? What if there's a
No,
plot
I've
twist
never. I don't know what that is.
uh-oh. What the skibbity?
The shrimp.
Well, I knew that Attack on Titan. I was shocked with the Attack on Titan plot twist because, like, I was a longtime viewer since the anime released. And then Isayama was like, "Oh, this is the secret of the basement," and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Because like everyone was making fun of it because everyone was like, "No way, the basement's that significant," but it was, and it's kind of crazy. People praise Umineko, and people say they liked Umineko better than Higurashi, so it has to be good. And I hear there's like Beatrice is like a very tragic and like lovable character, which right now we've seen her as only a gremlin. So, but yeah,
Gremlin.
she's like and she's like a butterfly or something. Like, why does she want to make us believe so much? This reminds me of like when someone's like trying to indoctrinate you into their cult.
I don't know.
Like,
I'm very negative. There's no way the reasoning is better. Like for that, it would have to be like I feel like they've dug themselves in a hole. Because if it's like something stupid, I'm gonna be annoyed. If it's something like tragic and sad, I'm gonna be like, I just don't fucking care. Like, I just can't fathom how it could be written in a way that I would care.
I feel like, I mean, it depends what you look for in a visual novel too.
Well, like, are we looking at her as a villain?
I don't think so. I think you're looking at her. I think ultimately with like visual novels, it will of course depend on the audience. Like I like the psychological, like I feel like Umineko is supposed to be like for me because I love the psychological of it, but right now I'm bored and I'm like kind of tired of like the overuse of the same dialogue. And like
Yeah,
I'm sure the mystery is complex or whatever, but I feel like I solved it already, so
we're just so good. We're just so fucking good.
so good. But I'm sure like the why done it, so long as it has some character development and like something that like makes me like I'll be all for it. I just need like some reason for me to like the characters. Because right now I don't like any of the characters, but like Aunt Natsuki because we got to see some of her like character of her like entering like father's study or whatever and leaving. Because she's like she wants to be a good mom. She just doesn't know how to like. And Jessica, I just think she's like I don't really like her right now. I don't care for George right now. I think Cannon's plain, but I'm assuming that they're both just the same person acting as a role. Um, Battler's annoying. Beatrice, I don't know anything about.
Valor.
Every time Battler comes up and I have to voice him, I get like a visceral reaction because I do not want to fucking read Battler's lines, bro.
Believe it.
Believe it. There's nothing interesting about Battler right now. I think he's boring right now. I think I need to see more of his character. Like, I need him. I need to see some more reasoning behind why Battler is like. First of all, why like Battler is just like this, you know? Like the way he copes is like very interesting to me, but they're not gonna delve deep in the psyche of why he does that.
He does
Like
act
I
very
need,
strange in the
yeah,
stressful moments.
he just like tries to laugh it off when he's under stressful situations, which I know people like that, but if I want
He
something
does like
psychological,
everything. He cries and then he tries to make jokes and then he'll say insensitive things.
and then everyone's scolding Maria. Like, the way people react to everything is so fucking bizarre. Like, the way they like react to Maria is just like, she's kind of uncomfortable. Oh, let's kill the 9-year-old. No, wait. But no, guys, let's bring back Maria. She's one of us. She lost her mom. She's an impressionable child. And then they see her singing creepily to the wall. And it's like, something's weird with Maria. I don't like Maria anymore. Let's kill Maria. I think Maria's the culprit. And then Nazi gets shot. It's like, oh, what the hell? And then, like, Battler will say the most insensitive shit, and, like, no one bats an eye. Maria will say it, and Battler just punches her a couple times.
That
Like,
was
that can't...
like, fucking Jessica, my parents don't have their faces. Your parents have... Your dad has half his face. You're fucking lucky.
Battler is, like, beating a kid, and everyone's like, yep. Like, the way, like, everyone's just so, like, accepting of the fact that Aunt Rosa beats her kid is, like, shocking. Like, everyone's just like, Battler's like, guys, feels a bit too far, and everyone's like, it's just a way to discipline their child. Like, what the fuck? I know many people who grew up with that mindset, and they grew up to be awful people because of that. Or just, like, people who just weren't happy with their lives because their parents beat them when they were younger. That can't be healthy, bro. Wow, I'm popular.
Alright, we should probably
Yeah,
end
yeah.
it then. Alright, it's time to end. We'll pick this up tomorrow probably, so we'll see you next time. Good night.